So we are going to talk about the deity. Very, very, very important, difficult, but at the same time, it's actually so simple. It's ridiculously simple. And if you can get it, I think it will also really give you a real confidence to something called bliss. The deity is this. Okay. So let me try a few things, okay? I'm using classic tantric examples. Okay, so this is a tantric phrase. A newborn baby will have no ability to chew solid food. So what do? You make it easy to swallow and interesting to swallow, such as sugar, something, I don't know. You are the mother, you want your baby to survive. So solid food might actually kill the baby even. You don't want to, you want to be very careful. Okay? So let's say you are these babies. And today I'm the mother and I am giving you the food. In this case, I am supposed to tell you, I'm supposed to give you deity. Now, the solid deity, the real deity is this, the sound that we hear, this knower of the sound, the one that is cognizing the heat. This just, cognition, the mind. And you must have. If you don't have, you don't have to be here, because it's pointless. Surely you have to have a mind. If you don't have mind, you don't have sadness, you don't have anger, you don't have hope, you don't have fear. You're just like a stone. You do have a mind. And I'm not even talking about a special mind, like a calm, compassionate. No. Just any. Whatever you are thinking. Hideous thing, blissful thing, inspiring thing, mundane thing such as the sound of the fan. This is the deity. But you see, now I've become the bad mother, unskilled mother, because I've given the 1-week-old baby a solid food. This solid food will choke the baby, probably to death, and the baby will never want it. Next time you bring this food to the baby, never want it. Of course. So now if I'm a better mother, better mother, then I will have to sweeten it. I will have to make it to what you call it, mashed potato, like liquid, like even package it nicely. And this is where we have things like Padmapani. Padmapani Avalokiteshvara, just like us, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 2 hands, holding a lotus, not too, dramatic. Lotus is nice. And it's so soothing. A flower, for some strange reason, we human beings love this flower, especially if it is held by somebody. So all that, I have to mesh it like this. But as a mother, my job is not to keep you remain baby. Day by day, I have to make the approach to the solid food. I have to make it so that you will grow up, because when so that you become independent, so to speak. So then after 2 or 3 weeks, I will change Padmapani to Avalokiteshvara. Suddenly Avalokiteshvara 4 arms. Now that's much more dramatic, because we don't have 4 arms people walking around. So we add a little bit of, yes, still normal. Avalokiteshvara has 2 eyes and still normal, looks like a human being. But also abnormal, because there's extra 2 hands. How would you feel if there's 4-arm human beings walking around in Beat Street? But so we add. So the baby is now growing. Now you are ready with a Padmapani, soft food finished. Avalokiteshvara, even 1,000 arms. Between 4 arms and 1,000 arms, not much difference. By the time you can accept 4 arms, 1,000 arms actually even more easy. It's like this. Sometimes when things are totally mind-boggling, it's easier to accept. But anyway, the next, now getting closer to the solid food, okay? Next, I will give you Hayagriva. And there, you might get a little bit shocked. That's the Padmapani? You will say, that's the Avalokiteshvara? I will say, yes. This is actually a more real one, I would say. I've been actually giving you cooked, sweetened, with all sorts of flowers next to the dish, and sing songs. But this time, I want you to try, organic, uncooked Hayagriva. This is much more shocking, because you have been used to what we human beings have a certain values, like nice behavior is a good value. So somebody walking with a lotus, now that's kind of nice, acceptable. Hayagriva, with his fangs and wrathful look, too arrogant, too haughty. But then you will begin to accept that. This is still too more. Now you have begun to accept this, because you are growing up. Then one day I will bring a horse. So this is it. This is the Hayagriva. Hard time to understand. The last one, really difficult one. Hayagriva in union with a consort. Why it's difficult? Because culturally, we have a taboos. You don't go around having sex in the public, you understand? You don't, sex and stuff like this considered naked. It's not acceptable. It's not politically correct. It's not ethically correct. You understand? This is But let's say you accept that. And then, next level, but actually now I'm jumping to the next level of the Tantra. So that set is finished now. Okay, that's set. Now you have become, I don't know, 18, 19. Adolescence is almost finishing, 21 years old, maybe. Then I will say, okay, all these, Padmapani, Khasarpani, Avalokiteshvara, 4 arms, 1,000 arms, I've been lying to you, you know. Those are not real deity. Then you say, what is it? Om Mani Padme Hum, that's it. So now I turn the deity into letter. And then it goes all the way to the letter Shri, or Om, or A. And even that to Nadi. And then you will think, okay, can't go furthermore. Now this must be it. Then I will say, no. Even the Nadi need to be dissolved. Then what is there? Nothing but everything all together. And that has always been with you, and that is always you. And this is, anyway, this is one way to introduce you what is deity. It's difficult. You have to have a sympathy with people who have destroyed the statues. How do you explain these things to them? There's no time and there's no capacity. Okay, let's try more academical way of establishing the deity. What is deity? This glass of water that you and I see it as a water, moisture, I always forget this, H2O for the scientists. Villagers, they don't know. You try and say, can I have a glass of H2O? It doesn't work. It works still. When it's in the glass, like this, placed in a beautiful tray, it's drinkable. If it is in the washing basin, maybe a little different. If it is in the toilet, different attitude towards it. Can you see how many different things? And then more, if there's a fish inside, they have a whole different perception. That magic, that something can be everything. This is a deity. I hope I'm managing to introduce you the deity. Am I confusing you too much? I hope not. This is the deity. This what the tantric call magical phantasmagorical net, they call it. And don't think there is only one item somewhere. Everything. There is a list, specially piled up, put it together by a great scholar called Rongzompa, which is actually even prior to Longchenpa. Such an amazing scholar. You should really read his. So beautiful. But it's really long-winded also. I enjoy reading all the list of what different beings see, how they interact with phenomena such as fire. Well, according to Rongzompa, there's an insect or a being that takes bath with a fire. The only way to cleanse themselves is by fire. And this is true with everything, by the way. I really need to get this name of this tribe in Africa. I think for them, solid is liquid. Oh, good example, those Mexican or the Mayan game, they have a game, competition, serious. And the winner is those whose head gets chopped off. You understand? Not the one who is chopping, one who loses the head is the winner. This is a different phenomenon. Totally. And it actually exists within everything. And this also is confusing a lot of people. For instance, I have noticed this myself with a lot of Bhutanese. The word good means different things for those Bhutanese who have been to, like Darjeeling, Kalimpong English schools, and versus those who grow up in Bhutanese village. For them, good means different. This is actually deity. So deity okay, so that's one way. Tea break? No, can you tell me? Is it now? Are you sure? Okay, just one more and then I'll finish, just the deity. Okay, this one is the serious one. And since there's a mixture of audience, I have to also speak some serious stuff. Okay, you have a mind. Of course you do. How can you not? Look at the mind. What is it? It has no color, it has no shape, it has no time, it has no direction. Yet, you cannot say it's a void. You cannot say it does not exist. There is always a knowing, not necessarily a thought, but some sort of a knowing. You do have that. And I'm not even telling you this as some sort of a mythological sort of a statement. Go ahead, experience it right this very moment. It's there, but also you cannot say it's this. I can say, here, this is my phone. Can't really say, oh, here, this is my mind. This emptiness and this clarity or the luminosity has no order. It's not like emptiness comes first and then the luminosity comes later. Emptiness is the luminosity, luminosity is the emptiness. I sometimes say, to understand more simply, it's there, but it's also not there together, simultaneously. Karma, the Kajuba lineage, or the Saraha people, Telopa people, they use the beautiful word called Sahaja, co-emergent, together, emerging, Sahaja. Khyentse, together, born. But the thing is, when the moment I use the word together, your mind immediately decides there are two things. Because until you have two things, you can't have it together, right? But actually there's no two things. But are you sure there's no two things? No, I'm not sure too. Because there's the emptiness aspect and there's the luminosity aspect. This, you have this. You cannot eject it. You can lose your finger if you want to. You can cut your hair. You can clip your nail. You can cut off a lot of your body or whatever, you understand? But this sahaja, you cannot lose it. And don't think that you Buddhists have it only. Everybody has it. Donald Trump has it. Dogs have it. Birds have it. Just because you have it doesn't mean anything. Until I say, hello, this is a spoon. Let's say you never know what this is. Until I say, you know, this is spoon and this is used for like this. Spoon you can collect millions of spoons. It's not going to work as a spoon. It's just probably you can use it for some other thing, but it will never function as a spoon. You have this Buddha, you have this deity, but until you have been told and you recognize it and you actually accomplish it, sadhana, you try to get hold of it, it's not going to function as a deity. So this is why even though you are Buddha, you don't act like one, you don't think like one, you don't speak like one, you don't eat like one, you don't shower like one, you don't plan like one, you don't strategize, you don't, I don't know. You are not devious enough. Devious? Plotting? Yeah. You have some small plotting going on, but it's just so small. And then what happens? We forget this innate deity. And forgetting the innate deity means you actually get attached to the dualistic phenomena. And the dualistic phenomena then become